So let's start with image. We talked about image a little bit. In fact, altogether, we can't. I can't help. No one can help to talk about design without talking about all these elements we're going over, right? So we've talked about audience. We've talked about typography. Now we're talking about the images that are used, right? We talked about the Birdman image. Now let's talk about the Animal Kingdom image here, right? First off, who is the audience of this, right? Is this a kids' film? No. Is this for teenagers? No. Even though we have a teen-looking guy right here, no. No. This is very adult theme. Everyone has very serious looks on their faces. There's a gun, right? It's high contrast. This doesn't look like a lot of fun. It looks like drama. Plus, with this hint of red around here, which we haven't talked about color yet, but we will, gives us a feeling of violence, right? So yeah. So anyway, images, right? It's important to have dynamic images. At least you can have it, as long as it supports the copy and clarifies what you're trying to say, right? What's the message? What's the copy, right? So it's also okay to have different styles of imagery. Like we have this gun here that might be a picture, it might be a drawing of a gun, right? But then we have these images of these characters, which are all kind of photoshopped together, as you can tell, where we have all kinds of different photos going on that are composited into one, right? Making two or more images into one image is compositing. And what we have here is they're all the same kind of color, and they have the same kind of color treatment with them and the same kind of contrast and everything together, which is similar to this gun. So it all works together, even though these may be very different photographs. And also this gun may not even be a real gun. It may be a artist rendering of a gun. It all kind of works together, and that's okay as long as they complement each other, which is good. Now, it's also important to find the balance between imagery copy, right, which is the white space. There is a ton of information on this poster. It's really hard to go over, but there's still quite a bit of negative space that they tried to put in. But look at all this this text that's in here, right? We got kind of a yin and yang thing going on, where we have this black and white kind of swish thing going on. We have complementary colors, where we have white and black and white when it comes to text, right? We have all, this is a very busy poster, but yet there's still plenty of resting points for the eye to go to. Okay. So yeah, so this is kind of the basic stuff with image here that we want to talk to you about, right? So how does this image support what's going on? Okay. If you don't know anything about the Transformers movie and you look at this poster alone, what do you see? You see, like, well, this is about big machinery, right? There's this big flying thing in the sky that we've never seen before, so it's sci-fi. There's also a big old robot here walking down here, right? So it's like, okay, this is going to be about robots somehow. And this will probably take place where in rural America, right? Because this isn't a big city. This is just like trees and looks like a farmhouse and fields, and there's lots of destruction going on here too. So these are violent robots, right? So the images are very, very important. Now, we can have something that makes a statement that is very probably more similar to this than not with this next poster, which is here. Brilliant, right? All kinds of negative space, all kinds of white space. First thing you notice is Ant-Man, right? It's all white. It almost looks like a mistake, so you look at it like, what's going on there? We got the date, and if we look, we have a tiny little man right here in the middle, right? Ant-Man. Says it all. Transformers, we got the main kind of transformer robot thing. We know it's about robots. This is about a little tiny man. Very, very similar. So you can see these are both strong, striking images for totally different reasons that work to help sell this to the audience.